Welcome back to Trending AI Today, where we round up 10 open-source GitHub projects gaining real momentum this week and tell you which ones are actually worth your weekend. From a self-hosted meeting assistant to a local voice agent stack, here is the top 10 counting down. Number 10 is up first. At number 10 we have VibeSearchBench, and yes, the name is doing a lot of work because the project is the strict anti-vibes of LLM search. It is a benchmark of 200 long-horizon, multi-turn, deliberately vague search tasks with persona-driven progressive disclosure, scored by a schema-free knowledge graph F1 instead of vibes. Scope-wise, this thing does one thing and one thing only. It tells you with actual numbers whether your agent's web search is hallucinating or actually retrieving. It is a tape measure, not a treadmill. The dev life moment. You shipped a retrieval-augmented chatbot, the demo looked magical, and 3 weeks in a customer asks how your agent knew about that one obscure regulation in Sector B, and you go pale. VibeSearchBench is the test harness that catches that gap before the customer does, with reproducible tasks and a number that goes up when you are better. If you ship anything with a search tool, run VibeSearchBench tonight and stop hoping. Link in the description. At number 9 we have MobileGym, a verifiable, massively parallel Android simulator that runs right in your browser, built specifically for training and evaluating mobile GUI agents. It is the gym your mobile agent has been bench pressing air without. Scope-wise, it does one job and one job only. It gives you a real Android environment, simulated at scale, with verifiable rewards so your agent actually learns the right thing instead of gaming a flaky reward function. If you have ever watched a vision language model click the wrong button on a settings page and thought, cool, now what? This is your training ground. The dev life moment. You finally got your agent to navigate a food delivery app on a real phone, then realized you cannot reproduce the test because the device is in someone's bag and CI is quietly weeping. MobileGym puts the device farm in a browser tab so your agent trains, evaluates, and you ship a benchmark without ever begging IT for another pixel. Spin it up this weekend. GitHub link in the description. At number 8 we have Near Diamond's agent memory techniques. 30 runnable Jupyter notebooks covering every memory pattern you have been arguing about on Twitter. Conversation buffers, vector stores, knowledge graphs, episodic memory, semantic memory, plus the actual production libraries, MEMGPT, MEM0, Letta, Zep, Graffiti, and the Locomo Long Conversation Benchmark. Scope-wise, this is a curriculum, not a framework. It is the part of the textbook your bootcamp skipped because memory is, quote, an implementation detail. The dev life moment, your agent remembered something from Tuesday, confidently misremembered something from Wednesday, and forgot your user's name by Thursday, and you are staring at a 4-figure token bill wondering where the context actually went, and which library, if any, is to blame. These notebooks let you diff the actual memory architecture side by side with code in an afternoon instead of 3 weeks of glue and a Stack Overflow pilgrimage. Clone it, read it, run the cells, then decide which library deserves your tokens. Pick one notebook tonight and ship a smarter agent by Friday. Link in the description. At number 7 we have Recall, a local-first memory layer for Claude Code that finally stops you from re-explaining your project every single session. It is a Claude Code plugin that runs entirely offline. No cloud sync, no telemetry, just durable project memory that survives a new chat window, a new machine, and a new mood. Scope-wise, Recall does one thing: give your coding agent the context it should have had yesterday, and refuses to be a vector database with a marketing page and a Series A. The dev life moment. It is your 4th Claude session of the day, and you are once again typing, we use Postgres, we hate drizzle, the auth flow lives in src/auth v2, please stop suggesting the one in src/auth, and a small part of your soul quietly leaves your body. Recall is the project memory equivalent of leaving your dev a sticky note on the monitor, except the sticky note actually reads the codebase and updates itself. Install it tonight, watch your session startup tokens drop, and stop reintroducing yourself to your own agent every morning. Link in the description. At number 6 we have Can-I-Finetune-This, a tiny tool that answers the only question that matters before you torch an entire weekend. Will this hugging face model actually fine-tune on the GPU I have, or am I about to on my way into despair? It does the VRAM math for full fine-tuning LoRa QLoRa with bitsam bytes and PFT so you stop guessing and start clicking run with a straight face. Scope-wise, it is a calculator with a personality. One job, one number, 0 vibes. The dev life moment. It is 11 p.m. You finally picked a base model, you kicked off fine-tuning, you went to make coffee, you came back, and your box has rebooted because the kernel panicked at 47 gigabytes and your weekend is now a postmortem. Run this first, save yourself the write-up. It is the kind of boring, useful tool that earns its stars by preventing exactly one catastrophe per user, and every ML engineer is that user at least once a quarter. Bookmark it before you forget, run it before every fine-tune, and stop paying the OM tax tonight. Link in the description. At number 5 we have Meetily, a self-hosted, offline-first AI meeting assistant that does live transcription, speaker diarization, and LLM summarization without ever shipping your stand-up to a stranger's cloud. It is built in Rust, runs Parakeet and Whisper for the ASR, and uses Alma locally for the summaries, which means your roadmap is not now part of someone's training set in a data center you cannot name. Scope-wise, Meetily is the meeting bot that does not require you to invite a third party to listen. It just runs on your laptop, joins your call, and writes the notes. The dev life moment. You have just sat through a 50-minute sprint planning. You are furiously typing, you missed 2 action items, and somewhere an LLM is summarizing your salary negotiation for a startup in California. Meetily keeps the whole pipeline on device, so the only person reading your stand-up is you, and your action items are actually in the dock by morning. If you take meetings for a living, install it this week. Link in the description. At number 4, we have Hugging Face's Speech-to-Speech, an official from the Horsemouth library for building fully local voice agents out of open-source models. You get speech recognition, translation, and synthesis in one Python package, you point it at whatever model you like, and the whole thing runs on your machine, no Twilio bill, no per-minute fee, no unfortunately your trial has ended, please upgrade. Scope-wise, it is the glue between open speech models and the actual voice agents people keep promising you in demo videos. Think of it as the kitchen sink so you do not have to wire your own from 11 incompatible repos at 2 a.m. The dev life moment, you finally got a voice agent demo working, you showed it to the team, and then finance asked in a very quiet voice why each call costs 9 cents and what the line item looks like in October. Speech-to-speech is the version where the only line item is electricity and a slightly warm laptop. If voice agents are on your roadmap for this quarter, clone it tonight. Link in the description. At number 3 we have Alibaba's Page Agent, a JavaScript in-page GUI agent that controls web interfaces with natural language. You drop a script tag onto any web page, you describe what you want in English, and a small in-page agent actually clicks the buttons, fills the form, and navigates the SPA, including the parts your team swears nobody ever has to use. Scope-wise, this is not another browser use agent. It runs inside the page itself, which means no Playwright rig, no headless Chrome, no flaky selectors that break every sprint. It is the difference between teaching a robot to open your front door and just giving your door a small, polite brain. The dev life moment, you have just spent 2 hours writing a Playwright test for a flow that a human would describe as, click the blue thing, then the drop down, then submit, and you have done this for the 17th time this quarter and you are not okay. Page Agent swaps the test code for a sentence. If you build internal tools or dashboards, clone it this weekend and ship the demo. Link in the description. At number 2 we have Chrome DevTools MCP. And yes, it is the official one, straight from the Chrome team, an MCP server that exposes DevTools itself to your coding agent. Your agent can now read the console, inspect the network panel, set breakpoints, and profile performance without you screen sharing at 2 a.m. and narrating, in increasing despair, what you are clicking. Scope-wise, this is not a wrapper. It is the same DevTools the Chrome team ships, surfaced over MCP, so your agent is debugging with the exact same tool you are, not some approximation that misses the one event you actually care about. The dev life moment. It is 1:47 a.m., the production checkout is broken. The only person who can reproduce it is asleep, and you are squinting at a screenshot a coworker sent with the caption, "Ick, it's just broken, LOL." Chrome DevTools MCP is the version where you tell your agent, go look, and it actually goes and looks with the real tool and comes back with an answer. If you ship anything that runs in a browser, install this MCP server before your next on-call rotation. Link in the description. And at number 1 we have Strix, an open-source AI penetration testing tool that actually breaks into your app so a human does not have to, on a Tuesday while you are watching and learning. It spins up autonomous agents that crawl your attack surface, find vulnerabilities, and report them with the kind of detail a senior security engineer would actually respect, not an SS PDF you forward and forget. Scope-wise, Strix is not AI for security theater. It is a focused, deliberately opinionated pentester in a box that does the boring, brutal part of red teaming so your team can do the thinking part. The dev life moment. You are 48 hours from a security audit, the only pentester you know just raised their hourly rate, again, and you are looking at the calendar in a way no LLM can fix for you. Strix is the warm-up round you run tonight, so the report you walk in with is not embarrassing. If you ship anything with a login screen, and you do, install Strix this week. Link in the description. The bad guys are already using AI, you should at least be using the same. That is the countdown. 10 open source projects, everyone real, everyone free, everyone worth your weekend. Pick one, clone it, build something dumb, and tell us what you broke. Links for all 10 are in the description.